Hello, Aaron Wills again, bringing you another reaction video that I started on Wednesday, the 9th day of October in 2024 at 1:25 p.m. Along with welcoming you to my channel, allow me to thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe before sharing this video and turning on the post notification bell. That would be much appreciated. Thank you so much. And now, off to Never Never Land. No, off to YouTube.com land. Here we go. I'm trying not to, I have to, in case you haven't been watching, I've been doing a lot of the Waukesha, Wisconsin Christmas parade trial, where Daryl Brooks was accused of driving his red SUV, actually it's his mother's red SUV, into a crowd of paraders on the 21st day of November in 2021, killing 6 and injuring dozens of others. And injuring dozens others. Well, I don't know how you would say it. Killing 6, including one young boy named Jackson Sparks, and injuring dozens of others. How about that? I think that'll work. What a damn shame it was. Now I've been doing these videos because when I try to do my writing videos, I keep getting copyright restrictions. I even got a copyright strike. There's that's from 3 years ago anyway. So that means whenever I get a new who's this? What is this? What stinks? Huh. Feel this show me state of joy. Open a new checking and earn $400 bonus. For what? What Community America. What bank is it? Court TV, alright. Alright, what is this? I don't know. I'd like to find more of the, come up with an idea that sells. 2 days ago, I watched this. Even at the risk of getting a copyright restriction. I don't want to strike, but I shouldn't get a strike, I don't think. I'm gonna watch this. This is from 2 days ago. Claire Fraze, here she is.
Five all-new minis, one unrivaled Motortober, now through November 3rd.
Do you want to write a book that is irresistible to readers? In this video, I'm sharing the 3 secret ingredients that separate the okay or even good books from the great books that have lasting impacts on their readers and make readers want to return to them time and time again.
Write with Claire Fraze, I will.
This video is going to be focused on how to write strong commercial fiction. This is not about writing more genre fiction or more niche literary fiction. This is focused more on the commercial fiction that will appeal to larger numbers of people. I'm not arguing that every book has to have all 3 of these things. Writing more niche literary fiction is very important, and the stories that don't hit each of these 3 marks are also important to write. Also, I think this goes without saying, but in this video, I also use examples from movies and am talking more generally about stories, not only about books. So this is about crafting really memorable, appealing stories that can be told in book form, but don't necessarily have to be told in book form. So I use examples that aren't books. So don't come at me in the comment section and be like, well, this wasn't a book. Because we're talking about stories. Okay, moving on. So the first thing that your story needs to be in order to quickly capture the attention of your readers is that it needs to be high concept. High concept is a big publishing industry buzzword that you might have heard before. But what exactly does it mean? A high concept idea is a striking idea that is highly marketable with broad commercial appeal that is easily understandable through a very short pitch. And reading this very short pitch tells readers exactly what to expect from the book. Not every idea is a high concept idea. If you struggle to explain to people what your book idea is about, or find yourself unable to explain it without explaining a ton of different moving parts, then your idea may not be high concept. There is nothing wrong with this. Not every story has to be high concept, but you will find that a lot of the big commercial blockbuster bestseller type stories tend to be high concept because they're really easy to pitch and to get across to editors and agents and publishing people as well as readers. You don't have a lot of time to sell a reader on your book when they're reading the book blurb, and so if you have a high concept idea, it's way easier to convey exactly what the story is about and
Did I miss her say what a high concept idea is?
what the reader should expect. And if it's a very compelling idea, they are more likely to purchase that book instead of a book that has a blurb that maybe is more complicated or convoluted or is not as easy to understand. Some high concept ideas can be boiled down into just a couple of words, especially if you have comps in the pitch, like Pride and Prejudice with zombies. Very short, very concise. Pride and Prejudice with zombies. Gives you a pretty good idea of what the book is about. Cinder by Marissa Meyer can simply be pitched as Cinderella, but with cyborgs. But other high concept pitches are not that short and don't use any comp titles in the pitch itself. Let's look at some examples. Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton has a very simple high concept pitch. Scientists bring dinosaurs back to life and they break loose in a theme park. You immediately get what the book is about. You can picture it in your mind. You can picture the dinosaurs in the theme park, somehow dinosaurs in the modern era. It's very compelling, it's very visual. Immediately the stakes are super clear because you can see the fact that dinosaurs being loose in a theme park is not going to be good. There's going to be a lot of danger, it's going to be exciting, and it's just one simple sentence that conveys all of that information. Let's take The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. In a dystopian future, teens are forced to fight to the death on live TV. Again, really easy to understand, really easy to picture.
I never realized that. I never saw The Hunger Games, nor have I read it. Is it just one book? Is it a standalone, or is there a series of Hunger Games books? Whatever the case, I've not read any of the books, if there's more than one. I've not read the book if it's a standalone. I've not seen the movie, although I like Jennifer Lawrence. I think she did The Hunger Games, right? I don't know. I have not seen the movie, nor have I read, if it's a standalone, the book. If it's a series, the books.
Teenagers fighting to the death, you don't know what the context is, you don't know the history, you don't know what the arena looks like, you don't know what the rules are, but the use of live TV, you could even add on a reality television show, and people know what a reality TV show is, and so picturing people fighting to the death on a reality TV show immediately is compelling. You get the danger, you get the competition element. People may not know the specifics, but they know enough that they want to see how this idea plays out. And it's easy to summarize in just a simple sentence. The Martian by Andy Weir can be simply pitched as an astronaut is stranded on Mars and must use science to survive. Very clear, very simple, gets...
Matt Damon is stranded on Mars and must use science to survive. That's, I believe it was Matt Damon in The Martian, the movie. The book, I guess, is by Andy Weir, as it shows right there. Right, it's Andy Weir, as it shows right there. All right, let's play it.
The stakes across really easy. Or Freaky Friday is also high concept. Mother and daughter switch bodies for a week. It immediately tells you the stakes, something about the characters, and an idea for what the plot is going to look like in just a couple of words. So all of this makes sense on a conceptual level, but how do you come up with a high concept idea? Unfortunately, there are no tricks or shortcuts to doing this. You just have to do a lot of brainstorming. If you want to start from scratch and you're not currently working on a project right now and you want to write something high concept, a common structure for a pitch that works pretty well is the X meets Y pitch. Something like Cinderella in Space, or Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Something familiar that people will know immediately upon hearing it, with something fresh or unexpected. Your comps need to be very specific and interesting. You don't want to just say, like, The Hunger Games meets Harry Potter, because that's not specific enough to immediately be high concept. You can pick Harry Potter, but then the thing that you have that twists it into something new has to be different and unique. Like The Bachelor, but with murder. If you already have an idea for a project and you're looking to see if it is high concept, or if you are looking to edit it or tweak it so that it becomes high concept, one strategy you can do is try to boil it down into 10 words or less. Summarize your book in 10 words or less. Try to write 20 sentences that are 10 words or less describing the plot of your book, and then one of them might be interesting. If you have a really tough time doing this, then your story might not be high concept. Or if that sentence that you choose doesn't really capture the essence of the book, you might have an idea as to how you can take that story and make it high concept by focusing on what you have in your one sentence pitch. You can also take your inciting incident and write a sentence around that, like boy meets girl is not that interesting, but boy meets girl who tries to murder him on their first date, more interesting. Your pitch can take an existing idea.
Especially if they stay together after that. There must be some physical attraction. If she tries to murder him on their first date and they stay together after that, I mean, he must really like her. She apparently already doesn't like him very much. She tried to murder him.
Idea that people are familiar with and put a new twist on it that is fresh and exciting and unexpected. So now you have a high concept story. What is the second secret ingredient to making that story unputdownable? We're going to assume you already have great writing, strong characters.
Unputdownable. I don't know. Is that right? Unputdownable, does that work? Sounds like, I guess so. I mean, she's a writer, an award-winning writer, award-winning author. To me, a writer writes. An author makes money from his or her writing. She's an award-winning author. So if putdownable, I guess, might be a proper phrase. What happened? Putdownable.
An interesting, engaging setting. What you need is a major theme. I'm not talking about love or growing up or any vague themes like that. I'm talking about an invisible thematic element that ties your story together. It is told within the physical elements of your story and is the unspoken story that hangs all of the elements of your story together to make sure that you deliver a satisfying narrative to your readers. I read a book a couple of years ago that explains this concept really well. I interviewed the author of that book twice on my YouTube channel, and I've linked those videos in the description of this one if you're interested in listening to him explain it. But the summary of the idea is that in every story, there is a physical layer to the story, which is the actual plot that happens, like detective goes and solves crime. But in every story, there's also an invisible layer in that story that is about something different than what the physical element is. Take Finding Nemo. In Finding Nemo, Marlin goes on an adventure to go find his son Nemo and bring him home. That is the physical layer of the story. But underneath all of that, what's really going on is that Marlin goes through a transformative journey where he learns to be a better parent to Nemo. He starts out the story being really overprotective, and he ends the story giving Nemo the space that he needs and trusting Nemo to grow up. And all of the physical elements of the story help propel him from being that overprotective parent to being a more relaxed parent. Finding Nemo.
Well, this is probably getting copyright restricted anyway, and my lunch is here, so I'm going to hang this one up. Peace.